GLP-1 drugs are a threat to the junk food industry. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And if you guys would, please remember to like my video. Please remember to follow or subscribe. And please comment down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Just leave me a comment, even a hello. So thank you so much. Let me get over to this topic. So these things have taken off. And according to the surveys we have, I looked it up yesterday because on this topic. And here's the thing. It says 12% of Americans have tried them. 12%? According to their surveys, that seems extreme, but I mean, that's what it's saying. And it's saying that 6% of American adults are actively on these drugs. All right, and they're doing it mostly for weight loss. But here's the thing that people need to realize. Everyone's losing weight on these. We can argue about whether it's the right or wrong way to lose weight. I lost 150 pounds without doing all this stuff when I was much younger. I'm 48 now. This is a full-time thing for me. I coach. I'm a fitness influencer, all this stuff. This is my whole lifestyle at 48. Okay. I didn't need these things, but I don't expect everyone else to do what I did. I had to be extreme in my lifestyle to pull that off. And so is everyone else I know who's been down that path. You know, we have this serious obesity epidemic that is killing us, and we need to be clear. That needs to be the response to body positivity, health at every size. The scientific evidence is overwhelming that obesity is what is killing us in America, obesity and junk food. So that's nonsense. You're literally supporting death, carnage, and suffering. All right, these drugs help. And I think what people forget, under the care of a doctor who is deciding what's in helping the patient decide what's in their best interest, they're more than willing to give them out. That means also when you look at it, the side effects and risk are still lower than being morbidly obese. It's like people say, but they're dangerous. Being morbidly obese is more dangerous, and that's very much the point. You know, very much the point. So it's kind of like, you know, you're in a giant pool with a great white shark, so you're not going to jump out of it into the next water over because there's, you know, a barracuda in there or a smaller shark, a little small shark that might be dangerous. Yeah, so there's a great white in the one you're in. Okay, which one's more deadly? You know, be realistic about it. You have to be realistic about it. It doesn't mean there aren't side effects or risks. One of these two things is way more deadly than the other. So back over to the point. Problem is, how do they make you lose weight? They get rid of your cravings, your appetite. If your cravings and appetite and your cravings for the hyper-palatable, calorie-dense food, well, they call it food, it's not really food. We basically are fed toxic slop full of empty calories that makes you hungry, that has been engineered to make you hungry. There's food science behind that. And that's what makes us fat and sick. All this processed garbage. Keep in mind when I say that, there is food science. There are experts who are hired by these companies to make sure that these junk foods are hyper palatable. All your chips, all your snacks, even your quote unquote healthy ones in the organic section, it's the same crap. They're still garbage. If it's coming in those packages and boxes. So you have all this stuff, and it's engineered to make you hungry and to want to buy more and eat more. Okay, this business. If you crave a product and it's legal to sell you the product, business dictates you're going to try to make it more desirable through any means necessary, and they do. It's called good marketing. Well, the problem is that it's killing us. So here's the problem. These drugs remove this. They're offsetting their ability to make you desire and crave and want to overeat these foods. In fact, it's removing the desire to eat them at all. Like once your cravings and appetite are knocked out with something, nobody looks at a bag of potato chips or a big thing of flaming hot Cheetos, you know, and says, yeah, that looks delicious. I want to eat that. Okay? Once junk food cravings that have been artificially created in you are knocked off, it's not appealing anymore. You know, just like once someone takes something that knocks out an addiction, you know, all of a sudden heroin's just not as appetizing anymore. You know, it's like, maybe not. And that's the idea here. The craving's gone, so then you look at that and go, I don't want to eat that crap. Well, that's terrible for the junk food industry. It means right now 6% of Americans who previously ate their junk. So stop back and think about that. From a market share perspective, if 6% of Americans are on this drug that makes them not want to buy or use their product anymore, who's most likely to be on this product? It's not the people who have a healthy lifestyle. It's the 6% of people who are eating their garbage all day, every day. They're losing their biggest consumers, pardon the pun, okay? Because they are literally their biggest, and consuming the most. So that's an enormous share of their market. So you got to ask the question, how much is that affecting Fritos or Lay's, or even, the sugar industry, the baking industry, ice cream? How much is it affecting Bluebell? Like all this garbage. I mean, how much is it affecting Pizza Hut? Are they still in business? I don't think they are. I haven't seen one in a while. All right, Little Caesars. They're being hurt. It's bad for their business. People are not craving their junk anymore. And, oh man, here's where it gets worse for them. That means there's going to be, those 6% of people aren't going to be fat anymore. And then everyone Oprah's talking about, Ozempic, people are losing weight. It's going to then be, we're going to be back over to fat shaming. Oh, then it's going to be socially unacceptable to eat the garbage more and more. I mean, think about this. If all these obese people get fit, they're going to be like, oh, you don't need to eat all that stuff. Ooh, you shouldn't be fat. That's what they're going to be saying. There's going to be social pressure. People aren't going to want to be seen buying and eating these products more and more. It's going to be socially unacceptable to be eating garbage that makes you fat as more people lose weight from this. These industries are going to have serious financial problems. So that's the funny thing. We always talk about banning, and people get mad at me. Like, you shouldn't just ban. It needs to be freedom on addictive garbage products. I don't know about that, but let's set that aside. So now this is the free market will then impact them. Consumer choice and social pressure will then start phasing these products out instead of the bans we should have done. This might be the catalyst that we need to just get rid of all this junk, right? It's already at a point where it's seen as poor people. Like seriously, when you look at fitness and health and being leaner are popular in wealthier circles, eating flaming hot Cheetos or drinking regular Coke is actually considered to be trashy and poverty behavior. Like, you're automatically assumed to come from a lower socioeconomic background if you consume these things. Now it's going to be more and more social stigma, right? You're going to see more social stigma. People are going to be shamed for it. You're going to see more protest by people to get all this junk off the shelf. This is terrible for the junk food industry. I'm personally all for it, though. So people aren't thinking about this effect of these substances. They're so worried about the side effects, personal trainers and people. They're not. They're worried about losing business. They're worried about this when the reality is this could be the catalyst we need for the massive social change. It's my opinion. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.